Find a comfortable seat on your mat. Be sure to pull the flesh away from the sit bones so that you're starting with a stable foundation. Draw the navel in towards the spine and allow the crown of the head to reach towards the sky. Bring the shoulder blades together and down your back and place the hands on the thighs, palms up, and close your eyes. And just begin to become aware of your breath. And allow the breath to flow in through the nose and out through the nose. Start to bring the breath into balance by making the inhale the same length as the exhale. So if the inhale is for a count of 4, the exhale would be for a count of 4. If your inhale was for a count of 6, your exhale would be for a count of 6, and so on. With each inhale, let the spine grow tall. And as you exhale, keep the length in the spine, but just begin to allow the body to soften. So relax the jaw, relax the shoulders away from the ears. Let the knees just gravitate towards the earth. In yoga, we often talk about being present and how each moment is unique. And it reminds us that we can start fresh in any moment. And the sunrise is a great reminder about starting fresh, starting anew each day. I wanted to read a quote today from one of my favorite spiritual teachers, Oprah. And she says, "What I know for sure is that every sunrise is like a new page, a chance to write ourselves and receive each day in all its glory. Each day is a wonder." So we don't want to fill up our day with regrets from the past. We don't want to fill up our day with anxieties about the future. We want to be in the moment and experience it for all that it's worth. Because every moment is unique, every moment is special, even if it's not a great moment. But this one's pretty good. So let's bring our hands together at the heart in Anjali mudra, prayer position. We'll breathe together 3 times, and on the 3rd exhale, share the sound of Om. Take a nice deep breath in through the nose, and exhale through the nose. Inhale, and exhale. And for the 3rd time together, inhale. Bow the head. Place the hands on the thighs. Softly open your eyes, looking forward. So today we're going to start in child's pose. So to come into child's pose, you'll just come to all 4s on your mat. I was on the wrong page, guys. Let's see. We're actually going to lay on our backs to start today. It's early. So go ahead, lay on your back, legs extended out nice and long, arms come by your sides. As you inhale, arms come up overhead until the thumbs touch the floor behind you. And then as you exhale, the arms come back down by your side. So you're moving with your breath at your own pace. Inhale, arms come up. Exhale, arms back down. Remember that our breath is rhythmic and fluid, like the waves of the ocean. The next time the arms are by your sides, you can pause there. Bend the knees, placing the soles of the feet on the mat. Draw the pelvic floor up, the navel in. Engage your glutes. Press down through the feet and lift those hips. And as you exhale, lower the hips. So you'll move with your breath here. On the inhale, the hips lift. And as you exhale, hips lower. The next time you lower the hips, you can pause there. Cross the right ankle over the left thigh. So we're going to do a single leg bridge pose. So we'll have to work a little more on our core stability here. On the inhale, press down through that left foot. Make sure the pelvic floor is drawn up, navel in, engage that left glute, lift. And then as you exhale, lower. Lift and lower 3 more times on your own. When you finish, you can just lower the hips, lower the right foot, make sure to adjust your foundation as needed, and then you'll cross that left ankle over the right thigh. Pelvic floor draws up, navel draws in. Engage the right glutes, press down through the foot to lift. As you exhale, lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. 4 more on your own. When you finish, lower the hips, lower the left foot, hug the knees into the chest, coming to Apanasana. Feel free to rock side to side here, give yourself a little back massage. And then become still and begin to rock head to tail. You can take a couple rocks back and forth just to have a little fun. And then bring yourself up to seated. And we'll sit in Sukhasana, easy pose. Bring your arms by your sides. As you inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, arms come back down by your sides. Again, you're moving with your balanced breath at your own pace. See my friend, the little crabby, coming out of his little hole right here? They're actually everywhere. The next time those arms are up overhead, allow the palms to come together to touch. And then as you exhale, bring your hands to your heart. So you're going to take your arms out to what I like to call zombie arms. That's a super traditional yoga pose. No, it's not. So arms just come straight out. You're going to cross your right arm over your left as high as you can, and then bend those elbows. So perhaps the backs of your hands touch, or maybe you can get that left hand around one more time so the palms touch. Either way is fine. Let the fingertips reach up towards the sky. And then point those fingertips to where the wall meets the ceiling in front of you. Garudasana arms, eagle pose arms. Bring the hands back in towards the face. Lower the fingertips away from the sky. Carefully unwind those hands and place the hands on your hips or your knees. Extend those arms out once again, zombie arms. Cross your left over the right as high as you can. Bend those elbows. Maybe the backs of the hands touch, or perhaps you can get the right hand around one more time. Fingertips reach up towards the sky, and then press those fingertips to where the wall meets the ceiling in front of you and breathe. Bring those hands back in towards the face. Carefully unwind and place the hands on the knees. Oh my goodness, do you see that? It's beautiful. I had to take a peek. From here, sitting in Sukhasana, as you inhale, arms sweep up. As you exhale, you're going to hinge from the hips, folding forward. So we're not bending the back. You may get to a point where you're like, I can't go anymore. At that point, bring the hands down to the mat or the ground. With the inhale, lengthen your spine. And with the exhale, perhaps you can walk the hands out a little further. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold. If it's okay for you, you're going to come down to the forearms. The forearms are parallel to one another. Press down through the fingertips, the perimeter of the palms, and those forearms. Start to walk the hands back towards the body, coming back to Sukhasana, easy pose. So we're going to switch the cross of the legs. Be sure to adjust the sit bones as needed. On the inhale, arms sweep up. Exhale, hinge from those hips, folding forward. When you need to, just bring the hands down to the ground. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, hinge. If it's okay for you, bring the forearms down to the mat. Press down through the fingertips, the perimeter of the palms, and the forearms. Start to walk the hands back towards the body, coming to Sukhasana, easy pose. Next, we'll come to all fours, hands and knees. When you're on all fours, remember that the knees are just hip width apart. The knees are slightly behind the hips. Hands are shoulder width apart, and they are slightly forward of your shoulders. Fingers are spread nice and wide, and you're pressing down through the fingers and the perimeter of the palms. This helps to keep the weight out of the wrists. Notice my back. I get this automatic big arch in my back. If that happens to you as well, draw the navel towards the spine and then just tuck the tailbone slightly. Take a breath in. As you exhale, shift the hips to the heels, the chest to the thighs, coming to extended child's pose. As you inhale, come back up, all fours, hands and knees. Exhale, back to child's pose. Inhale, up, all fours. So again, you're moving with your breath at your own pace. Inhale and exhale are equal. So when we really focus on the breath like that, really focusing on making the inhale the same length as the exhale, it helps us to stay present. Because when we truly practice our pranayama, notice how it's really impossible to think about anything else except for the inhale and the exhale. So if you are waking up in the morning and you are bogged down with regrets from yesterday or worries about tomorrow, see if you can just take a few minutes to watch that inhale and exhale and bring yourself back into the moment. The next time you come to all fours, pause there. We're going to come down to the forearms. So I want those elbows to be right beneath your shoulders. The forearms are parallel to each other. And we're going to practice a modified cat and cow here. Take a breath in. As you exhale, round your spine towards the sky. And then as you inhale, the belly draws down, bottom and the head move towards the sky. Exhale, round that spine. Keep pressing down through the fingers, the perimeter of the palms, and the forearms. Come back to a neutral neck, neutral spine, and then we'll come back up onto the hands. Take a breath in. As you exhale, shift back to child's pose. Inhale, bring yourself up to all fours, and then we're going to come to a knee down plank. So to do that, we can walk our hands forward a bit until we really feel that core fire up. Keep the navel drawn in towards your spine. Hug the elbows into the body. Slowly start to lower down. Sweep the chest through the arms, and then place those forearms on the mat. So the elbows are right beneath the shoulders. Forearms are parallel to each other. We're pressing down through the fingers, the perimeter of the palms, and those forearms. Point the toes to the space behind you. Rotate the thighs towards each other, and then draw the tailbone towards the heels for Sphinx pose. Come up onto those hands, press back to child's pose. On the inhale, come up to all fours, hands and knees. Shift forward to your knee down plank. Hug those elbows into the body as you slowly lower. Sweep the chest through the arms, bringing the forearms to the mat. Point those toes, inner rotation of the thighs, tailbone towards the heels. Just gaze out. Come back to the hands, press back. to child's pose. Bring yourself back up. All fours, hands and knees. Come to that knee down plank. Hug the elbows in. Slowly lower. Sweep the chest through the arms. We come to the forearms. Gazing out, reaching the toes to the space behind us. Tailbone towards the heels. Come back up to those hands. Press back to child's pose. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, walk the hands out to the right, bowing out the left ribs. Feel the stretch in that left side of the body. Walk the hands back to center. And on the next exhale, we'll walk the hands out to the left as we bow out the right ribs. And bring yourself back to center and back to all fours, hands and knees. From here, we'll curl the toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. The knees lift as you press back through those heels, coming to downward facing dog, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Start to bend the knees, go back down into child's pose. Inhale, bring yourself up all fours, and once again, we'll shift back, downward facing dog. So make sure those hips are pointing to the back of the room where the wall meets the ceiling. Head and neck are relaxed. Heels relaxed towards the mat. Start to bend those knees. Go back down into child's pose. And bring yourself up to all fours. From here, we're going to bring our forearms down to the mat. So again, make sure the forearms are right beneath your shoulders. Wrists come right out from those elbows. Press down through the fingers, perimeter of the palms, and those forearms. Curl your toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. The knees lift as you press those hips up and back. So we come to dolphin pose. Walk the feet in just a little bit, and you're really going to be pressing down through those fingertips, perimeter of the palms, and the forearms. Start to lower the knees back towards the mat. Come back up to all fours, hands and knees. Curl those toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. Knees lift as you press back. Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Start to bend those knees. Go back down into child's pose. As you inhale, come back up, all fours. Curl the toes under. Shift back, downward facing dog, and we'll hold down dog here for a few breaths. Start to bend those knees. Go back down into child's pose. As you inhale, come back up, all fours. Lower those forearms to the mat. Make sure those elbows are right beneath the shoulders, arms parallel to each other. Curl the toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. Knees lift as you press back, not downward facing dog, dolphin pose. Walk the feet in just a bit. Focus on your breath. Once again, we'll bring the knees down to the mat. Shift back to child's pose. Come back up, all fours. We'll move back into downward facing dog. Once again, bend those knees, go back down into child's pose. As you inhale, come back up, all fours. Curl the toes under. Start to shift the hips towards the heels. The knees lift as you press back, downward facing dog. Start to bend those knees, go back down into child's pose. As you inhale, come back up, all fours. So once more, we'll come down to those forearms. They're parallel to each other. We're really pressing down through the fingertips, perimeter of the palms and forearms. Curl the toes under. Start to shift those hips back. The knees lift. Coming to dolphin pose. So just walk the toes in a little bit. Focus on your breath. And once again, bend those knees. Go back down into child's pose. Take a breath in. As you exhale, walk the hands out to the right, bowing out the left ribs. Walk the hands back to center. And on the next exhale, you'll walk those hands out to the left as you bow out the right ribs. Walk those hands back to center. So staying in child's pose, you're going to place your right hand in the right hip crease. Press down through that left hand, and then you're going to begin to twist to the right. So your right elbow is looking up towards the sky. You're really pressing down through the left fingertips, left perimeter of the palm. Slowly turn back towards your mat. Extend your right arm out to meet the left. Place that left hand in the left hip crease. Press down through that right hand. Begin to twist to the left. Come back to center. Extend that left arm out to meet the right. So next, we're going to come to lay on our left side. So you're going to lay on the left side, and you want to make sure you're in a straight line. We don't want to pike the hips at all here. So our feet are stacked on one another. Extend your left arm out nice and long, and then bend your elbow and place your head in your hand. So we're balancing here. We should be in such a straight line that it's actually challenging to hold this pose. Your hand can rest on your hip. This is called Vishnu's couch. If you'd like, if you feel stable enough, you can bend that right knee and place the foot on the calf or the upper inner thigh. So we kind of take a tree pose leg here. Keep the navel drawn in. And then lower the top leg. Lower the left forearm to the mat. Take a breath in, and you're going to lift that top leg and then bring it out in front of you onto the ground. Bend the bottom leg, reach with your top hand, and see if you can grasp that foot. Keep the navel drawn in, pressing down through that forearm, perimeter of the palm. Release the left foot. Bring the right leg back on top of the left. And we're going to roll onto our belly. Take your left forearm so that it's parallel to the top of the mat. Bend your right knee and see if you can reach back with the right hand to grasp the top of the foot. So here you're going to pull the foot to the outside of the right hip. And this part's kind of confusing. I haven't figured out the right words to really cue it correctly, so watch my hand. I'm going to turn my fingertips to face front. Gaze forward. Ardha Bekasana, half frog pose. Release the foot. Cross the forearms in front of you, rest your forehead. Roll over onto your right side. So we're laying on the right side, stacking the hips, stacking the feet. You're going to reach your right arm out as long as you can, and then bend the elbow and place the head in the hand. Flex the feet. If you'd like, you can take an alternate leg position here. Place the left hand on the left hip, but if you need to keep it in front of you for stability, that's fine too. So this is Vishnu's couch. Lower your right forearm to the mat. Extend that top leg, and then bring it out in front of you, placing the foot on the floor. Bend the right knee, and see if you can reach back with the left hand to grasp the foot. Gaze forward. Release that bottom foot. Bring the top leg back on top, and we'll roll onto our bellies. We'll take our left parallel to the top of the mat, fingers spread nice and wide. Bend. See if you can reach back and grasp the foot with the hand. You're going to draw outside of the left hip and hips to face. To the mat, and we are going to press back to child's pose. Place that left hand in the left hip crease, press down through the right hand, begin to twist to the left. Slowly come back to center. Extend that left arm out to meet the right. Now you'll place your right hand in the right hip crease. Begin to twist to the right. Press down through that left hand. Slowly come back to center. We'll come back to laying on our bellies. You can just cross the forearm in front of you, rest the head, bend your knees, and let the legs sway from side to side. Lower your right leg. Extend your right arm out nice and long. See if you can reach back and grasp the top of that left foot. On the inhale, the right arm, the chest, the left thigh, lift up off of the mat, and then press the left foot into the hand to bring yourself up higher. Breathe here. Slowly lower down, release the left foot, cross the forearms in front of you, rest the forehead. Extend that left arm out, nice and long. Bend the right knee. See if you can reach back and grasp the top of the right foot. On the inhale, the head, chest, left arm, and right thigh lift up off of the mat. And then we'll press the right foot into the hand to lift higher. Slowly lower down, cross the forearms and rest the forehead. Let's shift back to child's pose. Stretch the low back here. Take a breath in as you exhale. Walk the hands out to the left. As you inhale, come back to center. And on the exhale, walk those hands out to the right. Come back to center and we'll roll over onto our backs and hug the knees into the chest. Once you hug those knees in, you can rock gently from side to side. And then we'll place the soles of the feet on the mat. Bring your arms by your sides and cross that right ankle over the left thigh. Draw the pelvic floor up, the navel in. Engage the left glute, press down through that foot, lift the hips. As you exhale, lower those hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower one more time. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. Pause here. Bring the arms out like a T. Palms face the sky. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to tip the legs over to the left as you roll to the pinky toe side of the left foot. As you inhale, bring yourself back up. And then as you exhale, begin to tip those legs to the right as you roll to the big toe side of the left foot. Inhale back up and you'll continue moving with the breath, just rolling from one side of the foot to the other. The next time the sole of that left foot is flat on the mat, pause there. Lower the right foot. Make any adjustments to the foundation that are needed. Cross the left ankle over the right thigh. Bring your arms by your sides, palms face the floor. Draw the pelvic floor up, navel in, engage the right glute, press down through that foot, lift the hips. As you exhale, lower the hips. Inhale, lift. Exhale, lower. One more time. When you lower the hip, you'll pause. Bring the arms out like a T, palms face the sky. Take a breath in, and as you exhale, begin to tip those legs over to the right as you roll to the pinky toe side of the right foot. Slowly bring yourself back up, and on the next exhale, you'll tip those legs over to the left as you roll to the the big toe side of the right foot. Inhale back up and continue moving with the breath, just rolling from one side of the foot to the other. The next time the sole of the right foot is flat on the mat, pause there. Lower the left foot, bring your arms by your sides. Draw the knees into the chest and then press the soles of the feet up towards the sky. And your arms can actually be out like a T or by your sides, whatever's comfortable here. We're going to do some leg lifts. So I'll give you two options. The more gentle option will be to lower your right leg until it's about 2 inches from the ground. Bring it back up, and then lower the left leg until it's about 2 inches from the ground. Bring it back up. The more challenging option will be to lower both legs until they're about 2 inches away from the ground, and then bring them back up. So you can do whichever is better for you. Here we want to press the low back into the ground. That's going to help us to recruit the right muscles for this. If you're lifting alternate legs, do 2 more on each side. If you're lifting both at the same time, 4 more. When you finish, you can just hug those knees to the chest. Once you draw the knees in, you can place the right hand on the right knee, left hand on the left knee. As you inhale, the knees pull away from the chest as the arms straighten. On the exhale, draw the knees back in. Inhale, knees pull away. Exhale, knees draw in. Hug those knees in. Keep them drawn in, but bring the knees out like a V. Take the arms between the legs. See if you can grasp the pinky toe sides of the feet. If not, you can hold on to the ankles. Guide the soles of the feet to look up towards the sky and rock gently from side to side for happy baby, Ananda Balasana. Take the peace fingers of both hands, grasp the big toes. Extend through the heels, make a nice big V with the legs. If you'd like, you can rock side to side here as well. Start to draw the legs together, arms come together, and then start to lower those legs down to the ground as the arms lower up overhead. Take a nice full body stretch. And then sweep your arms down by your sides so they're a few inches away from your body. We're going to transition into Shavasana. Let the feet just flop open. Relax your jaw by creating a space between the top and bottom rows of teeth. And let the tongue fall away from the roof of the mouth. Let your eyes just gently rest in their sockets. Resist the urge to make subtle movements. Allow the natural breath to take over. Rest in Shavasana. Slowly start to deepen your breath, becoming aware of your body once again and becoming aware of the space around you. You can start to make subtle movements that feel good, like wiggling the fingers and toes and rotating through the wrists and the ankles. You can turn the head gently from side to side. Bend the knees and let them sway from side to side. And then stretch through the arms and the legs like you're just waking up. Nice full body stretch. And then we'll roll to the right side in the fetal position. And we'll stay there for a few breaths. Keeping your eyes closed if you'd like, you can bring yourself back up to a comfortable seated position. Once you get there, you can bring the hands to the heart in Anjali mudra, prayer position. What I know for sure is that every sunrise is like a new page, a chance to write ourselves and receive each day in all its glory. Each day is a wonder. Thank you so much for sharing your practice with me this morning. I'm so happy that I was able to share this beautiful sunrise with you today. Make the most of your day. Don't worry about yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Live in the moment. May you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. May you have ease and well-being. Namaste. Thank you.